It's 6 months after a life-changing injury, and I'm trying something adventurous, a small rebellion. I was just fitted with an orthotic for my right leg that will help me walk. The next step is picking the color, or my orthotist suggests I can bring in a piece of fabric that will be laminated into the brace. I'm both thrilled and heartbroken after my appointment, buoyed by how it feels to get upright again, but disappointed at the size and the weight of the brace. It doesn't feel natural to use. It extends from my hip to underneath my foot, a hulk, a piece of plastic and metal that feels more steampunk than cutting edge. Is this really it? Is this all that's available? My unrealistic expectations have been fed by a TED Talk I watched in the hospital. A friend sent me the new bionics that help me run, climb, and dance by Hugh Hurt. He's a professor at MIT who lost both his legs in a climbing expedition. I watch it transfixed, carried by the current of his optimism in science, technology, and human potential. He makes bionic limbs that mimic what knees and ankles do. I watch him run. I bawl when he says, "A human being is never broken." I have been feeling exactly that, broken since my fall, rock climbing. He says it again. It's our built environment, our technology, that is broken and disabled. Naively, I expect to find in the clinic some hint of the sensors, microprocessors, and advanced biomaterials that he describes. Instead, I'm told that this is what insurance covers, that this is the intervention deemed medically necessary. There are braces lighter, more advanced, that do more. If you go that route, the options start at $75K out of pocket, my orthotist notes with a tone that feels particularly icy. The whole experience leaves me drained. For most of the visit, the brace specialist and my occupational therapist talk over my head, literally and figuratively. Both standing, they lob long foreign terms and acronyms over each other. So heading home, in the elevator down, I decide I'll be decorating my shitty brace with something to help me digest and express my mixed feelings. That beautiful fabric will help me move forward with my only choice. I resolve to find something that'll give industrial, metal, like robot vibes. This is both aspirational and reality. My brace is so far from the sci-fi appendages of my imagination. It's also highly noticeable and visually distracting. Along with my strange gait, it makes people stare. It also comes with a new feeling of vulnerability. I now rely on an external tool to move from place A to place B. I am enhanced, I'm incomplete, but I am not broken. By leaning into a new android identity, I'm acknowledging how separate I am and I feel. Walking. It's a sensitive topic among the wheelchair using. As we sit and worry about peeing ourselves, think about a lack of representation at all levels of society, and believe no one will find us desirable ever again, all we hear about is walking. It's somehow the one aspect of physical disability that popular culture understands. I guess it's not surprising, given the gulf between us, given the extent of the segregation. As a wheelchair user, I feel incredibly awkward when I see another disabled person out in public. It happens so rarely, I don't know what to do. I feel startled. Should I smile, wave, give the nod? Is this what it feels like for the shoppers at Trader Joe's whenever I roll through? I'm a special occasion now, after being a weekday for 30 years. When the elevator stops, the woman riding with me presses the button to keep the door open. She holds it while I exit, then sprints out after me. She races me to the front door and opens it. She holds it for me while I exit. I bristle internally. I smile, say thank you. Back at home, I decide on a fabric store, but not the Joanne of fabrics. A Google search reveals a hidden gem in Berkeley, a mom and pop place that reviews elevate to mythic status, the kind of local, organic, hippie experience that I love. A place crowded with cherished and forgotten objects and holding secrets and surprises. The kind of place I worry isn't for me anymore. The wilderness equivalent of retail. And since my fall, I've had to stick to the paved options. Everything about the choice to go feels like a risk. I'm still new to driving. Learning to use hand controls was a feat. And then I have to find accessible parking. There's no lot, and many versions of normal street parking don't work well for pulling my chair in and out of the car. And then there's the social aspect. I've developed social anxiety since my accident. Because walking badly after spinal cord injury is like putting a large, flashing sign above your head. Public comments welcome. When shuffling along, I get the questions. What happened to your leg? When will you make a full recovery? And a constant stream of encouraging slogans, like I'm a motivational poster, just missing that one pithy line. Lastly, there's the ever-memorable trauma dumping. So far, I've been shown one empty eye socket, several scars, told the details of a wide range of horrific motor accidents, and was privy to a recent blood cancer diagnosis. Great. Thank you, strangers. There's a subtle difference between the slow walking comments and the pushing yourself around in a chair with wheels comments. The wheelchair questions are, can I pray for you? Can you still have sex? And the comments range from how my looks and/or youth disqualify me from being disabled, to jokes about speeding and needing a license for that thing, and worst of all, how brave and inspirational I am for going out of the house at all. How, in my position, they just wouldn't know how to go on living. Trauma bonding is a shared feature of both locomotions. So, I've been avoiding strangers. In general, it feels like a lot to constantly manage people's reactions to me, or to try and ignore them. A single comment can ruin my whole day, send me reeling. I can feel my body tense up, ready for a fight, every time somebody looks in my direction and smiles. I'm learning I'm a magnet for helpful attention. Constant offers of assistance take me out of the moment, make me feel less. This happens most often when I'm loading and unloading my wheelchair from my car. I have a process. Help here is usually more interference than assistance. I also resent strangers asking to push me. I'm an athlete. I've climbed El Cap. I want to feel like I can competently manage the sidewalk all on my own. In the days leading up to the mission, as I come to call it, the familiar sense of nervous anticipation leads me to a new realization. Life with disability is life on hard mode. And I used to seek this out. Climbing, trail running, and going into the backcountry were all ways I challenged myself. I used to get restless and bored until I injected a little bit of fear and uncertainty into my life. Now, I can get close to that same feeling by taking on the everyday lack of accessibility. Instead of resenting this, I can flip the script. I can choose to be grateful that adventure lies this close. I want to approach my mundane grievances with the same attitude as a big day outside. Accept whatever difficulty, even if I didn't choose it, even if it doesn't look like a magazine cover. Because adventure is relative. The optics might differ, but our emotions are the same. Stories about going to the grocery store belong next to stories about deployment to Iraq. Stories about cooking or cults both matter. We all have our demons to slay. This mindset isn't easy for me. It feels like Olympic level mental gymnastics. But heck, I'm trying. Gratitude is the difference between a good day and a dark day feeling like a victim. 0 hour. I proudly complete the hectic hour-long drive through Bay Area traffic. The parking is easy and I roll into the shop. It's even smaller, tighter, and more alluring in person, the kind of place people say I shouldn't have bothered to visit. Thankfully, the person behind the counter does not try to discourage me or to apologize profusely. She lets me wander in with a casual, "Sorry for the clutter. Let me know if I can grab something for you." A godsend of an interaction. I managed to thread my way through the store like solving a corn maze or a game of Pac-Man. To reach many of the shelves, there's only one possible path. I have to turn around and detour multiple times. It isn't perfect. I realize I don't need perfect, but it isn't terrible either. After finding an entire shelf of robot-related bolts, I select a beautiful print that'll be laminated into my new leg. After my purchase, I sense I need to use the restroom, definitely before the long drive home. A quick check up and down the street does not reveal any other promising businesses. I go back in and ask for the bathroom key. I had seen the door while shopping in the very back of the store, and I'm skeptical of my prospects. I join another woman waiting in line. We start chatting, and soon we're both laughing at the very obvious cloud of fragrant pot smoke coming from underneath the doorway. I'm critically eyeing the door, which is partially blocked, like many other things in the store, by a large and overflowing shelf of fabric. With my companion watching, I measure myself against the entrance. My wheels hit both sides of the narrow hallway. Can I help somehow? Something about her demeanor disarms me. I have trouble most days letting people hold the door for me. Before my fall, I always took pride in my independence, the joys of the mostly American upbringing, prioritizing self-reliance, isolation, the formation of an island state. But she is looking at me like at a fellow human being. There is no sign of pity and the usual barrier. I am not othered. I am just another human with a very human problem. I need to pee. It reminds me of how good it feels to be actually seen, to be accepted in the blink of an eye. I may be here to lean into my weirdness, to own it and to write it on my body, but she's a reminder of the opposite force, the gentle pull from good people that counters all the bad, the pull back into community, into belonging, human, not robot. I give her a quick measure with my eyes. She's a bit taller than me, looks sturdy. How do you feel about giving me a piggyback ride, in and out? She smiles and nods enthusiastically. Absolutely. What's the best way? We huddle to hammer out minute details. Please make sure to grab and lift my right leg. That's the weak one that needs the most help, I emphasize. When the bathroom is finally vacated, this stranger squats in front of me, and I grab her shoulders and pull. I can smell her hair, and I press myself into her clothes. She carefully holds my legs, and with a little wobble that catches both of our breaths, she stands up. I ride her inside, and she slowly lowers me to the porcelain. When I finish, I call out to her, and we repeat the process. She picks me up off the toilet and carries me back to my chair. We were so happy afterwards. Like we won a game together. She awkwardly says thank you to me. And we both laugh. I know she feels thankful that I let her help. She feels thankful that, with a small gesture, she could make a noticeable difference in my day. We were suddenly reluctant to end the interaction. I gave her a big hug, and she goes in to use the bathroom herself. We part ways forever. This is a hard lesson for me, but one disability taught me over and over. Not that it's easier for me if I let people help, but that letting people help gives them joy. That I hold the key to a smile, their day brighter, a happy feeling of accomplishment. And if I open myself up to this interaction, it cuts through the space between us. Suddenly, we feel a new intimacy. I hope for a world where I won't have to be carried into a bathroom or a performance stage, where our built environment is made for every kind of human by default, without question. But until then, I've had to learn to talk down the inner voices of ego and pride. I've always been the independent goal setter and stubborn wanderer. Accepting help is not easy for me, but I understand that to accept is a gift to the person offering. But still, please don't offer to push me down the sidewalk.
Keep it going, guys. Keep it